Turn off the mic, turn off the mic, turn off the mic. Let's go on the internet. Y'all caught me reading Designing Data, the new second edition of Designing Data Intensive Applications. This is actually an interesting updated version of this book. Martin Kleppmann is a genius. And you got to see that. I was looking to see if him and Linus were from the same country. They're not, obviously. But yeah, my man Martin. This guy knows everything about system design. Read his book if you can. This bad boy. This is the old edition, actually. He's got another one. But damn, it's good. That book will easily get you through systems design interviews in the future. If you work in tech, it's fucking phenomenal. But we're not gonna. Oh yeah. Let's see what Suntees has. They're right down the street. These are literally my go-to t-shirts. I'm wearing one right now, actually. All of these colors are so sweet. This is the one bad thing about me. I do not love going shopping, but when I find a basic tee that fits my style at a price point I like, I stick to it. And I really want this color because I don't have it. But I'll go see my guy down the street for it. So these are great. So Suntees is a wholesale distributor of these t-shirts. And what they do is they have a storefront, they have a brick and mortar, and I believe that they get all of their things out of Pakistan. The owner and his wife are Pakistani, and they have some fantastic deals. And they're all blanks, right? They're all blanks from, this is essentially where like brands like Kith, if you've ever heard of Kith, those like overpriced brands, that's where they buy their heavy teas, from wholesale distributors like this. So I love like buying from them directly because I don't have to like pay an extra $85 for like a quote unquote high quality tea. Yeah, those are great. Let's see what Hacker News has out today. Oh, I looked at this FinTech Engineering Handbook. This is like an open source handbook for anyone who's joining tech. Pretty well done. Wojtek Petula did a pretty good job with his principles. All of the sections are fairly like, as a product person or someone coming in, like if you really wanted to understand the nuts and bolts of like you wanted to get that subject matter expertise level, high level overview of fintech. This is great. This is a great little free read. I love free resources. Even just to like learn, they're fantastic. I love when people make stuff like that. Yeah, I would never get into fintech. Maybe. I mean, I might. Who knows? Whatever pays the bills, am I right, guys? I don't really give a shit. Mythos Cybersecurity. Oh, Morgan Hontanier. I read this earlier in the coffee shop. The TLDR of this is essentially, don't worry about Mythos and AI finding all of these bugs, because cybersecurity engineers, researchers, professionals will still be needed. AI won't be able to they won't be able to automate every single security job at all whatsoever. We will still need subject matter experts to prompt these large language models to look for specific things. Um, yeah, from my perspective, this is just one of Cephalosec's employees, Morgan, just kind of, and he's from Stockholm. I love the Swedes. I love Swedes. I trust people from Sweden. I trust people from Finland. I trust people from, unfortunately, I mean, not to be racist, but there are a lot of countries that take engineering, computer science very seriously outside of the United States. And people from Finland, I have worked with a lot of German professionals that still very much care about the craft, and just understanding what a computer can do and what it can't do, right, at a high level. They don't forget the fundamentals. They don't ever forget the fundamentals. I love that about people from European countries, from Scandinavian countries. There's still an emphasis on doing good work and the kind of the craft that's involved in all the technological disciplines if you work in technology. So highly suggest reading that. This is good. One of the great economic myths that never seems to die is the idea that giving taxpayer money to a private company will yield a windfall, incentivizing the company to create jobs and generate wealth that otherwise would not exist. And yet, time and time again, the benefits fall far too short of what was promised, if they materialize at all. A new report suggests that the state of Michigan is the latest to learn that lesson the hard way. Wow, no way. $1.8 billion with only 602 jobs. Who would have ever guessed? That's exactly what happens, Gretchen. I dislike this woman so much. Why don't we ever learn? It doesn't make any sense, man. You can't expect billionaires. There's no incentive for them to reinvest their money into working folks. They lose money. Their incentive is to make more. At the end of the day, you don't give tax breaks to people. They're just going to take advantage of it every time. It's like tale as old as time. Jesus Christ. That's why Detroit got absolutely. Michigan, when are y'all gonna learn? When are you gonna learn? GM fucked you. Don't let tech fuck you too. Superbase is hiring. Wow, a multi-gress engineer. Key areas of expertise: database sharding, relational algebra, and Postgres internals. I'm not gonna lie, if you can find someone who has Postgres internals coming out of college right now, maybe at like an MIT or something, but like, if you could find that experience, somebody who actually gives a shit about the internals of a fucking wow, good luck. You're gonna need a seasoned vet. Stream processing and change data capture. So this is just a great job posting for anyone who's ever read Martin Kleppmann's book. Then, if you've read Martin Kleppmann's book and you understand database internals, this job's for you. I've used Superbase a couple of times. So I did see this. This is really good. Supposedly, the American government issued Ocarinas to everyone can play Ocarina with the Army method. That's amazing. Yeah, they gave Ocarinas to to every United States military officer. Is it the Marines? Yeah, the ocarina, the plastic ocarina. Amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Wow. That's amazing. The modern reader might well ask, why didn't they just ship them recorders? After all, recorders are now ubiquitous in early music education. They're considered easy to play and virtually indestructible. The answer is that the plastic recorder was only invented in 1946 and it wasn't popularized until the 70s. In the early 1940s, all recorders were wood. Wood simply would not withstand water exposure and poor conditions musical instruments could face on the field. The ocarinas were pressed from 2 plastic molds. Wow, that's amazing. Isn't that? That's crazy. Look at that. Oh, man. Complete with instructions. Very cool, very cool. That's so sick. The boys of the United States military knew what an ocarina was well before our friend Link. Sick. I'm just kidding. I wonder if there is a little bit of a relationship there, and like, because obviously it was a Japanese. Please, Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, okay. It's created by 2 Japanese game designers. Is there anything Link is given an ocarina? Let's see, history. Okay, we know the story. Beautiful, beautiful. The music, the release, the remakes, sales, awards, legacy. I wonder if there was like any thought given into. Maybe they knew, right? But maybe not. I think my thoughts are like in my brain, but I'm not saying this out loud. I wonder if the Japanese creators knew about this piece of history. Because if so, it's kind of cool. Why did... Thematically, they fit the best. They're compact enough to store in Link's pockets without disassembling and reassembling. I don't think realistic inventory size has ever been a problem in Zelda games. That's good. How do you explain the chain and balls? 100%. Yes, like, I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that fucking the ocarina was small enough from like a scaling perspective. Who gives a shit? It's a fucking video game, right? I mean, I think that it's probably very fitting for the time and it makes a little bit of sense, right? So anyway, I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, insane history. Look at this. Oh man, that's so cool. Everyone can play the ocarina with the military method. That's so sick. Fuck the military, but it's still kind of cool. Thanks, Howard. Computer scientist who plays a variety of woodwinds. Wow. People who like computers, but also like doing real human shit too. Fucking fascinating. We can do everything. We don't just have to be on the computer all the time and pretend to be fucking tech gurus. I love technology, but Jesus, it seems like everyone's like a master of everything. Somehow, some way, all of these YouTube creators are just like, they know databases. They also know how to program, and they're also deep AI LLM experts. Like all of it. Like what the fuck? When did we all become masters of all of these things? We did it. It's impossible. I know how long it has taken me to even understand the basics of like an autograd engine. All right, an autograd engine is like the backbone or like the foundation, right, of what you see in a GPT, right? Just the idea of like trying to get the concepts of an autograd, that took me a couple of months, like to kind of like really understand the code, the infrastructure. Like that's a difficult concept. There are people who make these things like professionally, and there are a lot of tools right now and like books and literature. But even then, for someone to be able to consume all of that and to say that they are a freaking expert, like these guys are talking about autograd engines, and then they're talking about how they're master programmers at the same time, and then they're whizzes and they're sysadmin experts as well. Like you're fucking not. It's impossible. It's fucking impossible. It's fucking impossible. I just hope I'm not going crazy. I'm curious and I like things. I love learning. I'm never gonna get on. Man, yeah, I would just not build an entire platform off of the fact that I'm a technology expert. Not a technology expert. I'm a curious technology consumer, if anything. Even if I do write code. I'm going on a rant. I'm sorry, guys. HEB, yes. I want to share this with y'all because HEB is very near and dear to my heart. HEB is a grocery store brand. And in Texas, I'm originally from Texas. And this grocery store chain has done a lot for the Texas community, especially in times when, like, more recently, if you've ever seen on television, across the global news, Texas has undergone a lot of like shitty. There's a lot of global impact, global climate impact that has affected Texas communities, specifically because Texas is on its own power grid. It's on its own power grid, if you didn't know. What that means is that one section of the United States, the East Coast, is on their own grid, and the West Coast is on their own grid, right? East Coast, West Coast. Sorry, I'm fucking that up. They all share public. It's a public utility. Like there are some companies that do have monopolies on specific regions, but essentially the power grid is at least split into two. But Texas decided that in order to create a more lucrative means of people making money based on energy prices, we would have our own power grid. It's a stupid decision that they made because a few years ago, we underwent a massive freeze. Texas had never experienced anything like it before, and the power grid failed because of infrastructure. There was a massive break in the way that our power grid was set up. It was faulty infrastructure. And then on the backside of that, you had energy speculators basically making money off of the loss of power and increasing the cost of energy when it failed. That's the high level gist. I could get into why, but there was a lot of energy trading involved that prevented people from getting their energy turned back on. We even saw a surge during that time for 2 weeks. Some people were out of power for 2 weeks. A lot of people froze in their homes, which is very sad. All because the state of Texas decided that it would be great if we had our own power grid. A lot of people after the freeze were hit with massive bills, massive energy bills, ludicrous, just thousands and thousands of dollars worth of energy after they were like affected, right, by this catastrophic weather event that happened to them, right? They're trying to recover family members or even just loss of food. Some houses, had to be rebuilt because of massive snowstorms that had blown through, right? Infrastructure needed to be rebuilt. It was just a whole thing. And HEB during this time, going back to HEB, they did everything that they possibly could to give food, to provide shelter, water. When things like this have happened, Hurricane Harvey being another one that happened in Houston, right? HEB has really come to the rescue in some ways and has offered as many services as possible to the general public, offering free groceries. I can't remember a time when they weren't trying to do something, and I rarely give companies any credit, but this company, they've always kind of hit the mark. Sometimes politically they don't necessarily make the best. Their press releases are questionable sometimes, but to be quite honest, they do the work of helping the community. And this article, I think, is about this, right? It's one of the most beloved brands because they do that, right? When the lights went out at his neighborhood grocery store, Tim Hennessy knew he didn't have much time. He told his wife, Deb, they should split up to cover more ground before the customers were inevitably asked to leave the premises. This was the fifth day of the catastrophic freeze that pummeled almost every part of Texas in February 2021. So basically what I just talked about, right? That's kind of like how this article opens up. I want to continue reading this, but I also don't want to steal, and I don't want to use archive PH. I could get in trouble. Whatever. What? Tim Hennessy's photo from HEB Leander went viral on stories. Tim and son felt like when. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Crazy times. But just so everyone knows, if you ever go visit Texas, don't just go visit Buc-ee's. Go visit an HEB. It's like Costco for groceries. I mean, they have everything too. I think that some HEBs in Texas might even rival a single Costco. So, running a software jam. I'm running a software jam in a world of slop. What's so different? Radish Hat Club. Whoa. Well, this is cool. No entry fee, full creative control, a global software jam for teens. Well, I am definitely not a teen. Adding eval to Rust, Doom in a PDF. What the hell? This is cool. I would upvote that. What is Doom in a PDF? I want to know what it is. This is really awesome. Hat Club is a 501c3 nonprofit where teens make cool stuff. That's sick. Very cool. I love this. Huh. What's the philosophy here at Hat Club? We're at our best when we're making. I mean, I agree. Let's make cool, fun stuff, you know, for the sake of learning, right? For the sake of learning. Learn, learn, learn. Please learn, please learn. Doesn't have to be for profit. You don't have to make something so that you can make money off of it. Just learn. Learning means curiosity. Curiosity means you ask yourself questions. Then if you ask yourself questions, you might be able to admit one day when you are wrong so that you can have a more open mind. So that whenever you do go online, you don't believe people like this awful, awful piece of ass shit fuck balls tits, excuse me. Don't believe people like this. You don't want to get red pilled. And on the same note, do not listen to people like this. Like this. This guy is no good. Absolutely no. Also, don't listen to guys like this, because even though he has a PhD, it doesn't matter. He still sells snake oil. Snake oil salesman. You, not dumb. He, very conniving and dumb. Do not buy his snake oil. Also, on the same note, whenever you decide that you want to get real strong, right, and you need to prove yourself, don't listen to this guy. This guy also, salesman. He sells VPN sups. Sups no good. We do not like sups. Okay? These hats, they're not cool. They are not cool. They're very dumb. Overpriced hats. This does not matter. I can tell you from personal experience, hybrid athlete makes no sense. These guys are just hyper masculine, always trying to dominate something. It's like, I need to do more with my life and maximize because I can't fucking be my own. I don't know how to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. There's no reason. There's no reason to be so angry all the time. Not everyone is out to get you. I'm serious. Like, if we stopped sharing our opinions, I do think that there is a level there we improve. We would improve. Gentlemen of this fine country, we would improve. So all you fuckers, right, including this guy, on the tech side of things, this guy has no opinions. Zero opinions. He is Joe Rogan of computer technology. We do not like him. He's part of Manosphere too. And also, this guy, fuck. What is his name? Fucking NVIDIA guy. Oh, fuck. Jensen. No. 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 Do not idolize these fucks. All right? For my sake. Look at all this. Looks like I have schizophrenia. Who created The Legend of Zelda? Andrew Tate. Google careers. Why did the create? Go one more. Fuck me. Whatever. There are people like this, though. Yes, you want to follow Ben Eater. If you like electronics, go follow Ben. Ben's a cool guy. Ben just put a cool video out. 652. Nice. 6502. He built an 8-bit CPU from scratch. Damn. Learn how the internet works. Look at that. I didn't see this series last. I guess I haven't been to his website in a while, but he has so many cool videos on electronics, networking, information architecture. He loves technology. I think he might love it more than I do. And I'm not like this guy is very well known. Yeah. He managed engineering at the Khan Academy. This guy is he's a really, really smart guy, and he really just cares about like teaching, like hands-on, like how to build, how to like your baby's first steps in electronics. Like I would say that watching his videos will open up your eyes and might get you a little bit more interested in electronics if you like the hardware aspect. Just watch one of them. I think it's cool. One of the more recent ones that he had on was about airplane. Hold on, Ben Eater. Yeah, it was about components in an airplane and how they communicate. So how do aircraft systems communicate? This is a really cool one. The modern SID chip substitutes, didn't look at that, but his assembly language versus machine code series, very good, very good. Highly suggest looking at all, or just one of them, because I think he's awesome. I do follow Low Level and Prime on YouTube as well. I like Low Level because he's like a vulnerability researcher. He has a cool following too. He's got Low Level Academy, which I don't like to plug, but the guy knows how to teach pretty well, especially like low level C. I haven't found anything like it. Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. This course really taught me a lot about how to appreciate higher level abstractions, higher level abstraction programming languages. So even like, if you look at how to do something in C and then you just take one step up and you go and take a look at how it's done in C++, even just that one step, right? C++ is like still a beast in and of itself, and it's blown up into a huge project, right? That I don't even think Bjarne Strauss fucking expected. That's the creator. I believe I pronounced his name right, but like, I don't even think he expected his language to blow up that much, or as much as it did. But C++, if you look at some of the things that, how fewer lines of code you have to write in C++ just versus C. And again, C++ is just one step up in terms of levels of abstraction away from C, right? Like, it's crazy. But C really does get you thinking about what's really happening under the hood. You have to think about your registers, memory allocation, cleaning up all of your memory. If you don't fucking understand pointers, study pointers in C. Low Level, his academy, probably one of the best explainers of pointers I've seen in a very, like, at all in my life. So, great courses, and pretty affordable as well. Like, Again, I like free resources, but if I had to recommend a paid one, this is a good one. Uh, he he naturally likes you to go and build an HTTP server. That's like his go-to project. Is like when you understand the primitives, basically all of your fundamentals and the syntactic stuff that you need, that or the syntax level things that you need. Once you have those in your tool belt, you need to go build an HTTP server. And I think that it is like the natural next step because there are a lot of concepts that get solidified as you build one. Um, and you can start thinking about the mental models. My advice to everyone is to study mental models as much as possible. They're going to be way more important moving into the next iteration of this like this new age of computing. Um, you will get into rooms where a lot of the lower level coding tasks are going to become redundant. Your superpower won't be writing a function or doing it on the fly. Your superpower will be taking a library, an object library, and knowing how to utilize it effectively and designing the system around that library or with that library, right? You need to understand how to mentally have the tools and the pieces of systems in your mind so that you can draw out and design things the right way. Complicated systems, large language models will not be able to design. If you don't have that knowledge, that's how you can kind of separate yourself in some ways. But you have to understand the principles of operating systems. You need to understand system level design too, and how to make those high intensive data, distributed data systems work together, right? And there's trade-offs for everything. Start with C, understand the operating system, understand how to communicate with it, then study the systems. This is a great place to start though. Right. Damn. See, this is why I love the internet, because I love it because it allows me to just be myself. I can just do whatever the fuck I want. I can be ADD on the internet. Fucking cares. If you guys ever seen Electric Sheep? So this was a distributed computing project for animating and evolving fractal flames. And these are all like, this was all done. Look at this. So all of this is computer code, right? This is all done by a single artist. I believe he was a computer scientist, Scott Draves. Yeah. So it was a collaborative volunteer computing project that uses genetic algorithm to animate and evolve fractal flames. The generated animations are downloaded to networked computers and displayed as a screensaver. So yeah, Scott Draves was a computer programmer and software artist. He wanted to harness the power of hundreds and thousands of computers to create a render farm, a distributed render farm. And some of these, I mean, a lot of these, I think, these visuals got saved. And so the Internet Archive has a lot of them. The name Electric Sheep is an homage to the 1968 science fiction novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. It's what the movie iRobot is based off of, if you don't know. I believe it's iRobot, right? Wrong. Blade Runner. I'm a fucking idiot. Duh. Wow. All right. I feel stupid. Maybe I should stop. No, I'm not going to stop. These are really cool. That's so sick. Let's try another one. Whoa. Whoa. This is cool though. I love this. All right, yeah, I think we can go to bed on Electric Sheep for now.